Icebreaker is great because you know yourself. You are the expert. And we don't know. So you can make stuff up. You say, I just came back from Palboma running with the Bulls. Yeah. But it's so cool. And the title on the right side of rock bottom, I didn't know where you were going to go with that, but you did. You brought that whole circle. I'm just going to go through the points here. What points does the speaker already have? Very poised, very natural speaking, very competent with your subject matter, obviously. What did the audience get to know about you? Well, I think they got to know the relationship you have with your father, and also that you were rock bottom thing. You were so definitely afraid of going to the principal at second grade. And that's scary. I went in Catholic school, so I had ninja nuns, because that's not good. So, and I was always bad. So, but then you turn around. You had the moment with your father with the pebble in the pool, and the ripples, and you learn from that, and that was so good. Your speech adequately preparation well. Your whole life is prepared for that speech, because that's. And I like that you stood to one single story instead of Cradle of Brave kind of thing. You honed in on a specific thing, and you presented that, and we all enjoyed that. I did. I was really enthralled. Your verbal quality was great. You were up, down, very confident with the command of the language as well. Did your speech have definite opening, body, and conclusion? I think it may have ended a bit abruptly. That was my only concern about that. Maybe kind of segued a bit more than just, that was that. And you use no notes, but that's, this is my story. When I first did my icebreaker, there's my pitch. I had a newspaper there, and I was reading about him, not me, because I did all this crazy stuff. But my notes were in the newspaper, so it's kind of weird. What have done differently? Your gestures, I think maybe you'll do this, but you only got back to home base. You do this, you go back to home base with your hands. Be more energetic with your gestures and point people, look around, and more eye contact as well. That brings your audience in. When you're giving them, you're looking at each one. That's energy that's transferring. You can, both of you are synergy with that kind of thing. The touching story. What I like about I've already said about what I like about it. Very touching and relatable to the subject matter, to the title. Also related well to the speech again. That's it. Okay, Master.
Thanks, Steve. That's a very good evaluation. And okay, next one is Cal.
Stephanie, thanks for your speech today. It was quite inspirational, and I found it to be a coming-of-age speech. And I also used the icebreaker evaluation. So I think was it the icebreaker for you?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, good. Yeah. So, so I'm going to follow that template. And the strong points that you had were that it was very personal delivery, and you spoke clearly and succinctly. And I did notice you looking around to draw people in. That was very appropriate. You certainly got my attention. I was intrigued because you started to, your speech organization was well structured. You started out by describing your family, the context, which was the family, and what the expectations were of you, which were very very demanding. And it was like, oh, this little kid, and their whole life has been mapped out for them. All they have to do is be a straight A student and do LA. And so it's like, wow, this is cool, wish I'd grown up like that. But it was great. And so I was drawn in by the structure. And then you transition to what I would call phase 2, which was the where you grew from being that little child meekly following the rules to doing something on your own. You establish your own personal identity, and I thought that was very powerful by learning soccer on the slide. And then we came to the third part, which was kind of the showdown where you confronted your parents with the fact that you wanted to go in a different direction than the map and the road map, and they acquiesced, which was powerful. So I found it. I really found it compelling, and your expressions were good. I will mirror a little bit what Steve said. I think maybe you could have moved around more, because I found you pretty stationary, although you kind of modeled the tutu. You said like, oh, and the tutu, I wanted to say goodbye to the tutus forever. You kind of went like that, and I could relate to that, because I had a daughter that used to like tutus.
You don't wear them?
What?
You don't wear them?
Not usually. Yeah, so, and she wants the same kind of thing. She's like, no more tutus, but anyway. So, excellent structure. And what I thought you could have done differently to make it slightly better, so that meeting, I wondered like how you felt when you went to the meeting with the teacher and your parents. Were you really stressed? Was it very stressful? How did you feel? Were you feeling like your life was going to come to an end? It was all going to be over, or not? Because you seemed calm when you delivered it. I wasn't feeling that sense of stress. So maybe if it was stressful, you need to imbue a little more emotion into it. And then finally, I wondered about the teacher. So your parents' personalities were fleshed out in the speech. Yours was, but the teacher had an important role in the little play, but didn't really get much feeling for the teacher. Was the teacher mad? Was the teacher concerned? Would have appreciated a little more on that. But thank you very much. Excellent speech.
Thanks, Cal. That's fun. Our third evaluator, Dr. G, to evaluate Lindsay's speech. Let's welcome Dr. G.
I'm going to go through this evaluation. I will cover the points, but the order will not be like how it's given here. I will address that which appeals to me the most. It was an excellent talk, and I loved the original title, Biscuits and Gravy. That was an intriguing part of her talk, and immediately, even before she said that food brought a memory came to me just listening to the words, food, biscuits and gravy. I learned something from her talk. I learned how beautifully she coordinated food with important memories. And I think this is very important for all of us. Foods give us different smells, smells give us different memories, and sometimes different foods take us to all those very happy days. And so I really absolutely liked it. She gave us such a beautiful emotional description of the food, the places where she ate, the people with whom she ate, the description of the place, the cow and the garden and everything else where she was eating. I could almost sit and feel that I was with her sitting and eating the food wherever she was going. And I normally don't like biscuits and gravy, but the way she described it, I think I will go and eat biscuits and gravy. Okay? I feel that she had prepared for this talk very well. She had prepared very well for the talk, and the talk was very clear. It was very audible. I liked that she did bring emotion to the talk, and I loved the idea that her speech was very structured. It did have the body, it had an opening and it had an ending, And I loved the beginning when she asked us to close our eyes and imagine our favorite food. I liked that. I enjoyed that portion. That was original. A lot of speakers don't do that, but I liked that. I really enjoyed that. Now she did use notes and she used it very well, but I couldn't really from there, and with my bad vision, I couldn't see whether she was really looking too much at the notes, but I'm certain she did look, but she was very well prepared, and so it was perfectly okay. If you ask me, are there any improvements needed, I honestly was so engrossed in listening to you that I did not realize that she went over time. And I think it was an excellent talk for the first talk. I really appreciate it, and good luck to you.